Mabuhay everyone, MARKCHES here and welcome to the channel. For all of you who are new here, I am MARKCHES. I do performance review mostly, but I also do travel vlogs, etc. Just subscribe to the channel and watch out for my videos, so hit that notif bell to be notified if I have a new video up. So here it is, guys. These are my top picks for 2019, and my criteria that I'll be doing for this video is I'll just be basing more on performance, availability, and the price point. So if it is readily available here in the Philippines or all over the world, or it is still in stock and the price point is reasonable for the tech, the performance that you'll be getting among these sneakers. So that's my criteria. I won't be ranking them from 1 to 10, top 1 to 10, but these are my top 10 choices. So it really varies on your style of play and what type of foot you have. So it really depends the taste of the user. Like if you want it really lower to the ground, the court feel is an important part. Or if you want more cushion, or if you're a player who likes a high top, of course there are certain sneakers here that are high tops, and of course low top sneakers here for all those low tops lover. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. Maybe I will start first with the oldest one, and it is here on top. So this is the Nike PG3. So I'll be telling you the strengths of the sneakers. So the main highlight, the strength of the sneaker is the traction. I really love the traction of the PG3. The support, the lockdown, the fit of the PG3 is also very nice. And of course the weight, it is pretty lightweight for a very nice performing sneaker. And another highlight of the PG3, of course the price point is just 6,200 pesos, or some colorways are 6,000, and a lot of the other colorways are on sale now, so you can grab them at around 5,000 plus. So you can get a PG3 at a very awesome price with this very awesome performing sneaker. This is actually the first colorway that came out of the PG3s. As for the upper support, I would give it 5 out of 5. I really love the support on the PG3s, even though it's a low top sneaker. I like the fit of it, especially the swings. They really work, they really help in the lockdown and the support. Another thing I didn't mention from the start, if you want to watch the full performance review of each of these sneakers, I will put the link up here if I don't forget it, or down in the description below. Alright, support, heel lockdown, heel containment, I will also give it 5 out of 5. For the cushion, I would give it a 4 out of 5. It's not perfect because I really love my cushion. With this setup, even though you're really close to the ground, there's a lot of bounciness in the forefoot area. And of course the heel part also has a very nice impact protection, but I just wish that it has more impact protection, but you can't get everything in one shoe. There's still impact protection at the back of the sneaker, so it's 4 out of 5. In the front, the forefoot zoom, you can really feel that zoom unit here, because the injected phylon is really plush. You don't need that much breaking time for the PG3s, and awesome performing sneaker. Sizing of the PG3s, true to size if you're a regular footer, and for those wide footers, maybe go half a size up. Of course, wide footer, watch out for the PG3s because it's more on the narrow side and there's not much space above your forefoot area. Watch out for that. But if you like a low top sneaker, an overall good performing sneaker, the traction of these ones, like I've mentioned from the start, amazing traction, very hard rubber, so outdoor use is also okay with the PG3s. Dusty court, clean court, PG3s is the best, one of the best. Dust pickup, like I've said, doesn't pick up dust that quick. So that's my first sneaker for the top 10. The next sneaker is the brother of the PG3s because it has a similar pattern on the traction. This is the Why Not 0.2, the highlight of the sneaker. Of course, the traction, it has 0 or circles around, very similar to the PG3s. The main difference between the PG3s and this one is I love the curvature PG3s. Although it has a little bit of curvature, the heel-to-toe transition of the Why Not 0.2 is really one of the best. I think it's very similar to the Jordan 28. It has a decoupled outsole and it is really curved, so if you're really a very quick guard who likes to run up and down the court, you will really love the heel-to-toe transition of the Why Not 0.2. But be aware, it's more rounded, so if you like a more flat, more stable outsole, this is not the sneaker for you, but still kind of wide. But if you're more a shooter, if you're cutting, then you really want to plant your feet really quickly, maybe go with the PG3s. The traction, like I said, big brother of the PG3s. It'll take a long time to pick up dust. Rubber compound, also XDR rubber. With this colorway that I got, even though if it's not XDR rubber, the rubber compound is really thick, so outdoor use is very okay and nice with the Y-Not 0.2. As for the upper of the Y-Not 0.2, support-wise, I would give it a 4 out of 5 for me. There's a little bit of dead space for me for the Y-Nots on top of the forefoot area, but still, lateral support, middle support, and even in the midfoot support. Lockdown containment, very good. And of course, the heel lockdown, heel containment. And also another thing that I really love is the cushioning around your ankle, your heel. It is really plush. There's a bit more ankle protection on the Y-Nots, especially on the original ones, which is a little bit higher and more padded around the ankle. I like the SE version better because it still gives me extra room or enough room to maneuver my ankle, still giving enough ankle support and ankle lockdown on the sneaker. So overall, support on the Y-Nots is amazing. Of course, the cushioning of the Y-Nots, it is 4 out of 5 for me. The reason behind that is I really love the zoom unit on the Y-Not 0.2. It is really very bouncy in the forefoot area. It has a very big zoom unit in the forefoot area, and on the heel, it has a very thick injected Phylon, which is also as plush as the PG3, but this is way thicker. So I like this one better compared to the PG3s in terms of thickness or impact protection. The reason why I didn't give it a perfect score is you're kind of higher off the ground with the Y-Nots. It's a lot thicker because of the thick zoom unit in the forefoot. Still very good, but not perfect, okay? Another aspect that you will really love about the Y-Not 0.2 is the price point. It is 6,400 as I remember. It's the end of the year. It came out early this year. So a lot of colorways are on sale right now for the Y-Not 0.2. Can get them at a big discount. Looks really good too, especially this colorway. I really like the material on the wings of the solar red colorway. It gives you that very off-white vibe. On my list is another sneaker that came out earlier this year. If you've been watching my videos, I was really impressed with the cushioning setup of the sneaker. The main highlight of the sneaker is the cushion, because the KD12s, I forgot, this is the KD12s. So the main highlight of the KD12s for me is the cushion setup. They removed the strobo board of the KD12s, so your foot is really sitting above a full length zoom unit, and right off the box, the KD12s, you can really feel the zoom unit. That's one thing that I really love about the KD12s, and maybe it's not higher on my list because it is a really narrow sneaker, so it doesn't have that very big lateral outrigger like the rest of the sneakers that I have here. And if you know me, I really like my sneaker to be really stable. But if you just really tighten the laces up on the KD12s, you're good to go. Just remember to really tighten it up from the first lace loop up to the end to give you the maximum support on the KD12s. And another reason why it's not high off my list, although I said there's no ranking here, it's not that high off my list for you guys because this is a custom pair. I made it to a gum sole because my first pair, if you watch my performance review, my first pair was a translucent outsole. It was really bad on a dusty court. I was slipping all around, and since I really love the cushion setup of the KD12s and how it looks, I customed the pair and made it to a gum sole. And with this setup, the traction was amazing in this. It didn't pick up that much dust. As for the rubber compound, I think outdoor use is okay too. It's pretty thick for the gum sole. For the other colorways, especially the translucent outsole colorways, I wouldn't recommend it for outdoor use because it has a more flimsier rubber type material if you have the translucent rubber compound, so watch out for that. But if you can ID a pair like mine, this is actually my championship colorway, so that's why I made it the white gold colorway. So moving on to the support of the KD12s, it's also what I've said, it's like 3.5 out of 5. The second time that I used the first colorway of my KD12s, I didn't really tighten the last lace loop, and while I was running down the court, kind of sleepy because it was an early game, and I almost rolled my ankle by just picking up a ball, doing a lateral step. So that's why I kept on reminding you guys, really tighten up the laces of the KD12s because it's really a narrow sneaker, so it can tip quickly. But if you really tighten it, this plastic piece on the side really helps out in the lockdown and support laterally, and the outsole also comes up on the medial part of the sneaker. Forgot to mention about the other two sneakers. And for the rest of this sneaker, props to 2019 because almost all sneakers, the outsole and the cushion really goes up and cradles your foot. 2019, hats off to you guys, to all the brands, because a lot of sneakers that came out 2019 are awesome sneaker, but I have to choose 10 pairs because it will be all over my table. The video will really take really long, but a lot of nice sneaker came out 2019 with a lot of good tech, really thought of design for support wise and for your maximum performance. So props to all the brands for 2019. Coming back to the KD12s, the only gripe I have with the KD12s is it's a narrow sneaker, so for wide footers, maybe go half a size up or full size up with the KD12s, or better try it in store because as you can see here, it almost looks like an elf sneaker. And if you've seen KD's foot, this is the shape of his foot, so it's really long. For the price point, like I've said, it's 7,400 pesos, but with the tech that you'll be getting and for the materials of the sneaker, the stroboless cushion setup of the KD12s is amazing. The upper has really nice materials all over it, especially my custom pair. And for the price point and for the performance that you'll be getting on the KD12s, it's worth it. Next up on my list, it's the New Balance Omnis. This actually came out in the US last year, championship, so it already came out in the United States really early this year, but still hasn't released here in the Philippines. I copped my pair, one in Taiwan, the other colorway that I have, and this one was from the US. My friend bought me this. I have to put it in my list because I really love the cushioning setup. It's the highlight of the Omnis. I really like the cushioning of the Omnis. It's really close to the ground but still very nice little bounce in the forefoot, and impact protection is also amazing in the forefoot area. In the heel part of the Omnis, impact protection is really dope even though it's really close to the ground. Another highlight of the Omnis is the traction. The traction of this one and my other pair, both are amazing. Even on a dusty court, no problems whatsoever. So I really have to put it in my list even though it's not yet available here in the Philippines. But if you're going out of town, if you have a relative, more available now compared to the early part of this year. A lot of new colorways came out, but sadly here in the Philippines, it will come out February, early February, so crossing our fingers on that. I've talked to the New Balance guy here in the Philippines and they confirmed that. The only downside that I have with the Omnis for my foot is it has a lot of toe space on top of my forefoot. So maybe for wide footers or those people who really loves more space around the forefoot, you will love this. But for me, there's a lot of dead space on top of the foot, so I really have to crank up the last lace loop of my Omnis and I'm good to go. I'll just compare it with the PG3s. You see how high or how thick the upper part of the Omnis are compared to the PG3s. So that's a thing to consider, but overall for support, we love a sneaker like the upper of the sneaker to be more comfortable, but the Omnis is pretty thin on the upper. So it's still comfortable, but it's not as plush as the other sneakers around me right now. I just wish that they thicken up the Achilles pillows or the ankle pillows on the Omnis and it will be better for me. Because if you can see these ankle wings, that's what I call them. If you really tighten them up, I just wish that there's a thicker ankle pillow around that area. It didn't bother me while I was playing, but this is a plus if they have thicker ankle pillows for the Omnis. And the price point right now, I think this will come out at around 8,000 pesos, so not that bad. And for the cushion setup, like I've said, fuel cell. This is the top of the line cushion setup from New Balance. The thing that I will compare the fuel cell is, it's pretty similar to Boost. It has a boosty feeling. Even though it's a little bit thin, especially in the forefoot area, you can still feel the bounce in the forefoot area. So It has that similar boost feeling, and from the looks of it, I don't think it will bottom out. If it does, I will keep you updated on it, but so far so good for my 2 pairs of Omnis. This is for all of you who likes court feel and with the higher cut sneaker. Of course, the traction, the middle part is still there, very similar to the Kyrie's. On all the new guard shoes, they have medial traction for additional traction when you're doing crossovers or doing a quick step to the basket. So that's another plus on the Omnis. So Omnis, this is my 4th pair of my top 10. Next up on my list is the KD5, the Klay Thompson 5. So this has been out for quite some time in China. It's just released here in the Philippines like last month because Anta opened their stores here. First one is in Mega Mall and the next one is SMR. So do check them out if you're around the area. And this is the KT5. The main highlight of the KT5s for me, of course, it's the traction. The traction, very similar to the KT3s, the KT4s. Fingerprint traction, awesome traction. Does pick up, very minimal, and you don't need to wipe. And the rubber compound of the traction is also very thick, so outdoor use is okay. I will give it a 5 out of 5 for the traction. And the next highlight of the KT5s, of course, is the Anta A-Flash foam. Comparing it to the KT4, it's an upgrade because it's more plush, especially on the heel. And on the forefoot, there's a little bounce and impact protection, and you're really close to the ground too. As for the cushion setup, I will give it a 4 out of 5 for the KD5s. Only gripe on the KD5 is this shroud, and hopefully Anta will be bringing the other colorways because we've seen a lot of new colorways of the KT5 without the shroud. It looks dope, and I've seen a low-cut KT5 too that looks nicer. Just this shroud makes the KT5 looks clean, but when you're wearing it and when you're tying your shoelace, you really have to make an effort clipping the shroud first before tying the shoelace. And there was one time in my game that the shroud, I think my opponent touched the shroud and it was flipping all over when I was running, so I have to fix it. So that's just a minor gripe on the KT5. But as for support, I will give it 4 out of 5 for the upper, since it's a high cut sneaker. Lateral and medial support is there because the cushion really goes up on the KT5s. Also in the forefoot area, the traction also goes up to cage your foot. For heel support, heel lockdown, 4.5 out of 5. Very nice heel lockdown, heel support, and ankle protection on the KT5. And as for the fit of the KT5, half size down for a regular footer. And if you're a wide footer, maybe go through to the size. It has enough toe room or toe space in the forefoot area. And without the shroud, it is pretty easy to put your foot in. It has a traditional lacing system for the KT5s. For the price point of the KT5, it is shocking. It's because I think because before the KT4s were not available here in the Philippines, and right now they're selling this, the KT5, this Claytism colorway. I don't know the other colorways if they're selling it at the same price, but with this one it's just 6,300 pesos. So it's on the cheaper side of the spectrum among basketball sneakers. So for the tech that you'll be getting and the performance that you'll be getting out of the KT5s, it is totally worth it. So KT5 is my 5th sneaker for the top 10 for 2019.